Still feeling tired, heavy, or flat before your workout, even though you're eating clean, drinking your beet juice, doing everything right? Here's the uncomfortable question nobody is asking. What if the beets aren't failing you? What if you're failing the beets? Most people treat beetroot like a background character, just another healthy food you throw into a salad or blend into a smoothie and forget about. And that's exactly why most people never feel anything from it. Not because beetroot doesn't work, but because they never gave it a real chance to work. You've probably seen the research. Nitrates, blood flow, endurance, lower oxygen costs during exercise. It sounds almost too good. And then you try it, and nothing. Maybe your urine turns pink and you panic for 30 seconds, but that sharp, energized, locked-in feeling everyone talks about, it never shows up. That's not a beetroot problem. That's a strategy problem. And once you see what's actually happening inside your body and what most people are accidentally blocking, you won't look at beets the same way again. In this video, I'm going to show you something most wellness channels skip entirely. Not just what beetroot does, but how to actually use it, how to choose it, how to prepare it, what to combine it with, when to take it, and what invisible habits might be quietly shutting down the entire process before your body even gets a chance to benefit. No fake superfood claims, no before and after theatrics, no miracle promises. Just a smarter, more precise way to use something you're probably already buying and probably underusing. This is not a beginner beetroot video. This is the version you watch when you've already tried the basics and they didn't move the needle. We're going deeper, and by the end you're going to have a clear framework you can actually apply, not just a list of health facts you'll forget by tomorrow. Stay with me, because the part most people miss completely, it comes later in this video, and it might be the exact reason your results have been weaker than expected. Here's where most people go wrong from the very start. They treat beetroot like a static food. Eat beets, get benefits. Simple, linear, done. But that's not how it works. Beetroot is a delivery system. And like any delivery system, what matters is not just what you're carrying. It's how you carry it when you deliver it, and whether the door is even open when it arrives. Most people don't realize this, but the gap between someone who drinks beet juice and feels sharper in training, and someone who eats beets twice a week and feels nothing, that gap is almost never about the beets themselves. It's about three things: form, timing, and context. Change those three things and you're working with a completely different outcome. Let's start with form. Whole cooked beets and raw beet juice are not the same thing for performance purposes. The nitrate content, the absorption speed, the practical dose, these things shift depending on how the beet reaches your body. Whole beets are excellent for a food-first daily approach. They bring fiber, folate, and a slower, steadier release. That's useful, but when timing and precision matter, like before a specific workout, juice or concentrated shots give you a more predictable dose, faster. Neither is wrong. The question is, what are you actually trying to do? Because most people never ask themselves that. They just eat beets and hope something happens. Then there's timing. If you're eating beets randomly throughout the week with no connection to your activity schedule, you're not building a performance strategy. You're just eating a healthy vegetable, which is fine, but it's not the same thing. When the goal is performance, there's a window that matters. Eating beets the day before because you remembered doesn't hit the same way. And then there's context. Your overall diet, your health baseline, whether you're actually nitrate deficient in the first place. Someone who already eats a lot of dark leafy greens may feel less of a shift from beetroot because they're working with a higher nitrate baseline. Someone running low may notice a much clearer difference. This is why individual results vary so widely, and why blaming the beet is almost always the wrong conclusion. The goal is to stop treating beetroot like a passive food choice and start treating it like a tool. Tools only work when you know how to use them. Now let's talk about preparation. because this is where most people quietly destroy the thing they're trying to build, and they have no idea it's happening. Here's the real problem. Beetroot's nitrates are reasonably stable during cooking when handled well. But the longer you cook it and the more liquid you discard, the more you're potentially reducing what ends up in your body. Boiling beets for a long time and then pouring the water down the drain is one of the most common ways people unintentionally reduce their intake. That water-soluble content goes with the water. So if you're boiling your beets until soft and then tossing the liquid, you might want to reconsider. Steaming, roasting at moderate temperatures, or eating them raw are generally better approaches. None are perfect, but they're meaningfully better than aggressive, prolonged boiling with liquid disposal. And here's something that doesn't come up enough: portion reality. Most people who say they eat beets regularly are eating a small amount, a few slices on top of a salad, maybe once or twice a week. And they've built this mental category called "I eat beetroot" that feels like it counts as a strategy. It doesn't. Not if the dose is inconsistent, the timing is random, and the form isn't matched to the goal. This is where it gets interesting. The research on beetroot and nitrates uses specific amounts, not some beets, not a beet here and there. Consistent doses over a consistent period. When people replicate those conditions, consistent form, consistent dose, consistent timing, they often report very different results than when they were casually adding beets to meals. The casual approach isn't wrong for general health. But if you're expecting a performance shift, casual isn't going to get you there. Now let's also look at what's sitting right next to your beetroot in the store, because most people are completely ignoring a parallel opportunity. Beetroot is not the only nitrate play, and this is where the strategy gets genuinely powerful or quietly falls apart. The bigger picture here is the nitrate system. Beetroot is one source, but arugula, spinach, Swiss chard and celery are also high in dietary nitrates. Some of them, arugula in particular, are actually higher in nitrates per gram than beetroot. Most people don't realize this. They've been told to eat their beets and never thought about how these foods could work together to create a stronger baseline effect. If you're already using beetroot and you're not regularly eating dark leafy greens, there's a gap in your strategy. And if you're eating all of these foods, but you're doing something that disrupts the conversion step, that's where things can break down completely. Here's the part nobody talks about enough. Dietary nitrate from food doesn't become useful on its own. Your body needs to convert nitrate into nitrite, and then into nitric oxide. That first conversion step depends heavily on bacteria in your mouth. And here's where a very common modern habit creates a very specific problem: antibacterial mouthwash. Using antibacterial mouthwash regularly, particularly right before eating nitrate-rich foods, can significantly reduce the population of those oral bacteria. Less conversion, less nitrite, less nitric oxide downstream. You might be eating your beets, building the right food combinations, doing everything right, and then swishing with something that quietly undoes a critical step in the chain. This is one of those details that sounds almost too specific to matter, but the research on it is real, and it's a perfect example of why the delivery system approach matters so much. The food is only part of the equation. The conversion pathway has to be open for any of it to land. So be honest with yourself right now. Are you using beets for workout performance, for circulation support, or just to fight general fatigue during the day? Because the answer to that question should be shaping how you use this food, and most people have never stopped to ask it. So what does a smart beetroot strategy actually look like? Let's pull this together clearly. First, match the form to the goal. Whole beets are excellent for food, first daily use, but when timing and dose consistency matter, when you need more precise delivery, juice or concentrated shots give you better control. Know which situation you're in before you choose your format. Second, prepare them with less nutrient loss in mind. Moderate heat, less water. Avoid long boiling with liquid disposal. Raw works, roasted works, steamed works. The goal is simply to stop accidentally reducing what you're working with before it reaches your body. Third, build the broader nitrate stack. Arugula, spinach, Swiss chard, celery. These are not substitutes for beetroot, they're complements. Combining high nitrate greens with your beet strategy creates a smarter, stronger food-based approach than relying on any single source alone. Fourth, time it properly when performance is the goal. Randomizing when you eat beetroot during the week is not a strategy. Think about the window. Think about consistency over time. That's what the research reflects. And fifth, stop blocking the conversion step. Be aware of your oral hygiene routine and when you use it. This doesn't mean abandoning good oral care. It means being strategic about timing around nitrate-rich meals. Small adjustment, potentially meaningful outcome. These 5 elements together are what separates someone who says, "I eat beets and nothing changes," from someone who builds a functional nitrate strategy around their actual lifestyle. The difference is almost never the food. It's almost always the approach. Here's the thing about beetroot. It's not a miracle food, it never was. But it's also not just a random healthy vegetable you add to a salad and forget about. Somewhere between those two versions is a genuinely useful tool. One that supports blood flow, stamina, circulation, and fatigue resistance in ways that are real and research-backed when used with intention. The goal was never to eat more beets. The goal was always to use beets better, from healthy food to deliberate strategy, from hoping something works to understanding why it works, and building your routine around that understanding. Most people will watch this and go buy beets this week. Some will still feel nothing, not because the information was wrong, but because knowing and doing are different things. The people who see results are the ones who apply this with precision. Consistent dose, right form, smart timing, open conversion pathway, broader nitrate base. You now have that framework. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Before you move on, drop a comment right now with your #1 goal with beetroot. Energy before training, better circulation, less fatigue through the day, something else. I want to know where you're starting from because it shapes everything about how you apply this strategy. If you want something practical to take with you, the free ebooks on the channel page go deeper into this exact framework. Nitrates, timing, food combinations, the full picture. Link is in the description. No opt-in maze, just grab them and use them. And if you've been following a clean food strategy and you're still hitting a ceiling, a quality nitric oxide booster might be worth exploring as a complement to what we covered today. Not a shortcut, not a replacement for the food first work, just a way to close the gap when your foundation is already solid. The next video on screen right now is the one I'd watch immediately after this one. One common pre-workout timing mistake is costing a lot of people more energy than they realize. It connects directly to what we just covered here. See you there. Thanks for watching. Like, share, a comment and subscribe.